Do you want to draw graph like this in Vinci Resolve? Let's learn this. Go to effects, and in effects go to again effects and add a fusion composition. Right click on the fusion composition and go to fusion page. There you will find a media out node already present there. Drag a background node in the worksheet. Connect the background node to media out node. Right now we are trying to create a green graph paper kind of a structure. For that we are going to change the color to green. After creating the green background, we need to create the grid on this graph paper so that we can draw the graph. Press shift plus spacebar and search for grid. Add this grid node in between the background node and media out node. Adjust the width of lines to make this grid more like a graph paper. So now we can see that we have a graph paper kind of a structure, but the white lines are too much prominent in the paper. So we are going to adjust the color of grid to make it more natural. We are going to change it into slightly blue. Now we are going to draw the axis X and Y in this graph paper using another background node. So drag a background node in the worksheet again. Add a paint node as well to draw the axis. Connect the background node to the paint node. Go to paint node and select the color of the axis. In this case, we are going to make it black. Now go to background node and change the alpha value to 0 to make it transparent. Now go to paint node and select polyline multistroke. Now click on the grid points to create the axis. Press Alt to create straight lines that are perpendicular to each other. We can see that we have created the axis X and Y. Now we are going to change the look by changing the brush type and the size of the brush. So in the left screen you can see how the axis will appear on the graph paper. So we can see the X and Y in black color. Now we have the graph paper and the axis ready. To merge these two outputs we need a merge node. Remember, in the merge node the yellow is for the background and green is for the foreground. Now connect the merge node to media out. We can see that the axis and the graph paper is visible in the final media out node. Now we are going to add the curve that we want to draw on the graph. For this as well we are going to drag a background node and a paint node. Again we are going to the background node and make the alpha value to 0 because we don't want the background to be visible. We just want the paint structure to be visible. To draw the paint node, we will again go to polyline multistroke and choose the points and finish the structure. We will again go to the brush stroke and change the type of brush and size of the brush so that it looks natural. We are also going to change the color of the curve. I am taking it as red. Now similar to last time where we had two outputs to be merged for graph paper and the axis, we created a merge node. Similarly for this we are again going to bring in a merge node which will combine the two outputs, the axis and graph paper, with the curve that we created. For the merge node, the green input is the foreground and yellow input is the in the background. We are going to connect the paint output to merge to green input, and we will see that in the final media output node we can see that there is a graph created. Now we are going to add some text to this graph paper such as axis name and the curve name. For this we will drag a text node and merge it with this output. We will connect the text output to the green input of the merge3 node and type whatever we want to present. So in this case I am naming the axis just simply y and x. I will type y and select the color and change the position as per my liking. Again for the x axis, we are going to take text to node. For the text to node, we are going to connect the text to output to the green node of the merge 4 node, and merge 3 nodes output will be created to yellow input of the merge 4 node. We are going to change the color of the text and place it to the appropriate place. We can see that the static graph is now created in DaVinci Resolve. This graph can be used as it is in your videos, but if we want to animate it, we have to add some animation in the DaVinci Resolve through keyframes. To animate the XY axis, we are going to select the paint 1 node and go to stroke control. We will go to frame 0 in the timeline, and we are going to animate using the right on keyframe option. Now we can see that the axis is being drawn on the screen. For the curve to be drawn, we will again use the same process. We are going to 56th frame and make the right on value to be 0, because we want the graph to be drawn after the axis have been drawn. So we are going to wait for the axis to be drawn, wait for few frames, and then draw the curve. So in the 56th frame, we are going to change the write on value to 0 for the paint 2 node. We will go to 100th frame and make the write on value to be 1 for the paint 2 node. We can see that the axes are being drawn, and thereafter the curve is being drawn. We will also try to animate X and Y text in the fusion composition. We will write the text Y on the Y axis from frame 4 to 6 using the write on option. We will go to frame 4, make the write on value to 0, and go to frame 6, and we go to frame 6 and change the write on value to 1 for the text 1 node. Similarly, for the X node, we want the X to be drawn after the X axis has been drawn completely. So we will be going to 56th. So we will be going to 52nd frame and make the write on value 0 and create a keyframe. We will again go to 56th frame and make the write on value to be 1 and create a keyframe. We can play it and we can see that the graph and the curve are being drawn perfectly. Thank you for watching.